happening. I am finally sitting down to film my Colourpop Super Shock Shadow Collection for you guys. I am so excited that I'm finally doing this video. If you missed out on my recent Colourpop haul, I will have it linked in all the usual places if you want to check that out. And I will also have my Lippie collection linked as well if you mix out on that video. I do lip swatches of my entire collection. But today's video is going to be all about the eyeshadows from Colourpop. And if you're unfamiliar with Colourpop, they are a super cool company. They are really unique. They are based out of LA and they just make phenomenal products, and the best part about it is that all of their products are so affordable. Their shadows are all $5 a piece, as well as their lipsticks and lip liners, and then their blushes, highlights, and now bronzers, which they just introduced, are all $8, which is just insane. I am in love with everything I've tried from them. Their products are seriously addictive. If you haven't tried them yet, go do it right now. Honestly, they are so worth it. Today we are talking about shadows. So to start off, I want to talk a little bit about the formulation and everything of them. I'll grab one of them here so I can actually show you guys while I'm talking about them. Okay, so the formulation of Colourpop shadows is seriously like nothing you ever felt or used before. They're so unique. They are technically a cream product, so with the packaging they do have a little twist off lid. You do want to make sure that you screw on the lid really tight every time after you use them, or else they can dry out. The first time I ordered the shadows, and as soon as I started pulling them out and swatching all of them, I was just like, oh my god, what is this? It's seriously just the most weird magical formulation ever. The closest thing I can think of to compare them to, it's like if the Makeup Forever Artist shadows, the more metallic finishes, and the Maybelline Bouncy Blushes had a baby. If you own any of the Makeup Forever Artist shadows, the more metallic or diamond finish ones, or you've swatched them in Sephora, you kind of know what I mean. When you press your finger into them, it kind of creates a groove, and you can almost leave a fingerprint in them, which most shadows obviously don't do, and if you press hard enough you can actually squish them. These have that kind of feel to them, but then they're also a little bit more Play-Doh-y and moldable feeling, like the Maybelline Bouncy Blushes. I feel like that description still doesn't do them justice, but that's kind of the closest thing I can think of. You can see this is one that I've used quite a bit. It has a lot of indentation in it. I'll show you a brand new one as well. So this is a brand new one that I just hauled. They all come with this kind of imprint in them. So you can see that other one I've used quite a bit. There's actually a little tiny little bit of pan showing through just because I've kind of squished it all around. But yeah, that's the formulation. Really, really great. These are extremely long wearing. I just use them with a regular eyeshadow primer, and I don't have any issues with them creasing or fading throughout the day. I do get a tiny bit of glitter fallout with the more metallic finishes, but it's not like it's pigment, it's just glitter, so it's easy to swipe away. And that's just when I'm applying them. I don't find I experience any fallout with them throughout the day. The other day I swatched a couple of them on my hand when I was getting ready for the day, and I swatched them because I was just choosing what color I wanted to use, and then I went and washed my hands, and I washed my hands 3 times and there was still color on my hands, so super long wearing. And one thing I love is with Colourpop's more glittery formula eyeshadows is that the glitter doesn't get lost. You know how some shadows look really pretty in the pan, and then when you go to swatch them, the glitter just kind of gets lost and it ends up looking a little bit muddy. You don't have that problem with the Colourpop shadows at all. The glitter really shows through and really stands out, so that's one thing I really love about them. And these are also insanely pigmented, which you will see when I get to the swatching of each individual shade and everything like that. But one thing I want to talk about is the application, and the best way to apply these are either with your fingers, but if you are like me, I don't really like applying shadows with my fingers unless I'm just throwing something on the lid really quick. But if I want to do a more detailed look, I'm not a huge fan of applying shadow with my fingers. Even when I use my pinky, I find it really hard to get into that inner corner. I end up with shadow all over here, so that's just my personal preference. It's just small eyelids, stubby finger problem basically. I'm going to swatch this one really quick just so you can see the pigmentation. So yeah, that is one really quick swatch. You can see super intense foiled finish. And so what I was doing basically when I first got these, I didn't want to apply them with my fingers, like I said. So what I did is I grabbed my Sigma E55. This is just a little flat shader brush. This is what I always use to apply shadow just on my lids. And I'll show you guys what was happening. I'll pick up a little bit of color here. And then when I pack it on to my hand, you will see that the pigment doesn't translate nearly as well. You still get a good amount of pigmentation. But that's with my finger, and then that's with the brush there. It's just not quite as intense. So what I did is I went on Colourpop's Instagram and I asked people how they were applying them. And a lot of people actually said that the best way to apply them is with a sponge tip eyeshadow applicator. So I'm going to show you guys again with this. So I just pack it or press it into there, and then I just press it on to my eyelids, or in this case my hand. So you can see there, that is the one with the eyeshadow, the sponge tip applicator. So as you can see, it does it a lot more justice than with the brush. And I think it still looks good applied with the brush, but it's just, the brush isn't quite dense enough to really pick up and evenly apply that pigment, so you just don't get as much color payoff. Now you can order these in bulk. I'll have a couple links down below where you can order like bulk packages of these online. Or for me, like before I got these, I was just using ones that came in like old palettes and stuff like that. That works too. So yeah, that's just one little tip that I found for applying them. There was a little bit of a learning curve there. I wasn't super happy with them when I just started applying them with the brush. I was like, these swatch beautifully, but I'm not getting that same color payoff on my lids. So the sponge tip applicators was definitely like a game changer for me. Alright, so now we get to move into what is definitely the more fun part of this review, and that is the swatches and individual shades. So how I'm going to be doing this is, as I talk about the shades, I'm going to have a close-up swatch like I usually do, and then at the very end I am going to do kind of like a roundup where I'm just going to have all the swatches on their own, and I'm going to have swatches of kind of the more similar shades swatched next to each other, so you can get a better idea of maybe like what shades you want to skip and what shades you need in your collection. So I'm going to start with the more neutral shades and then move into my more like colorful, like fun, bright shades. So I'm starting off with the Shan XO, sorry this is so hard to show on camera, the Shan XO and Colourpop collaboration foursome, because I did just haul this and it's the only little like set I have, so I figured I would do that one first. So the first shade from this one is called XO, and this one is just like a really, really nice, pretty, like champagne kind of gold. Next we have Selfie, which is like a really nice warm tone brown. This is going to be like a perfect transition color, kind of along the lines of like Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie, that really nice warm tone color that a lot of people like for their crease. And then we have Deluxe, which is swatched right here, and it is like a super warm, chocolatey, red kind of brown color. Really, really pretty. I'm really excited to use this one. And then finally we have Rebel, which is like a khaki olive green kind of color. Really pretty and unique. I don't really have anything like this in my collection, and I figured this is really nice for like a deep green smoky eye, or even just like on the lower lash line as like a pop of color. I thought that would be really pretty too. And I thought that was a really nice addition to this little quad by Shan XO, because it just kind of adds something a little bit more unique to it. Yeah, that was the Shan XO quad, and I will have a close-up of all four shades together in here. Okay, so kicking off the single shadows with a few neutral shades that are kind of in the same color family. The first one I swatched here, and it is called Girly. Now this one, it doesn't look like much when you look at it actually in the pan. It looks pretty basic, but then when you actually swatch it, it is just this beautiful pale vanilla. It has like a gold and pink kind of duochrome to it. You can kind of see the flash there. And then this next one is Fringe, and this one is just kind of your standard champagne gold. It does have some like chunkier silver and gold glitter in it, and that one is a metallic finish. And then the one on the very end here is called I Heart This, and this is like a silvery taupe kind of color with a few different colors of glitter in it. The glitter in this one is quite chunky as well. It is a metallic finish, metallic finish. Next up are a couple of my absolute favorites, and both of these are actually what I mixed today and put on my lid. As you can hopefully tell, just like a really beautiful foiled effect. And the first one was the one I was swatching when I was showing the comparison with like between the brush and the sponge tip applicator. And this one is in Amaze, and this one, it's definitely in the rose gold family. There it is there. It's more of like a subtle rose gold though, like it's a gold with like hints of rose gold, hints of like copper, and this one is a metallic finish as well, so really glittery and foiled. And then we have Sequin, which is the like super in your face rose gold, really coppery, has some chunky glitter in it as well, and also a metallic finish. It's kind of interesting because it's like a really intense copper, but it has a little like flecks of silver glitter in it, so it's really unique. Then I have a few more cool tone shadows, and the first one is Cricket. Cricket is another one of my favorites. It's this really intense, like smoky, deep plum color, and it has a ton of really like multicolored glitter in it. It's really pretty and really unique. Then in the middle here, I have one of their tie-dyed eyeshadows, and since I have swatched it quite a bit, you might not be able to tell, but when you buy it, it is this kind of like melange of different colors, usually like 3 colors. And this one is in the shade Meow, and when you blend them all together, you get this super intense, icy, metallic silver that has a ton of silver glitter in it. You also get some like little subtle hints of purple and pink as well, because that's kind of what this mixture is. And then we have Girl Crush here, which is a really cool smoky toned matte gray kind of color. It almost has like a slight hint of purple to it too, and I feel like this would be really pretty for like a really sultry gray smoky eye. So that was Cricket, Meow, and Girl Crush. Next up we have some blues, and the first one I just hauled, and this is Ibiza, which is this super vibrant turquoise. Pops of like turquoise and blue have been really popular this spring, and I'm sure they're going to be popular this summer as well. And that is a pearlized finish. And then we have Effect, which is another matte formulation, and this one's like this really deep, inky, like intense teal. This one's a really cool color as well. And that's those swatches, trying to remove them with a makeup wipe. So as you can see, crazy lasting power. Definitely gonna have some staining with these ones too. And then we are wrapping up with a few really fun summery bright kind of colors. So starting off we have Erotic, which is one of my favorite shades. I haven't actually used it in a look yet because it's like intimidatingly beautiful, but it's so pretty. It is this like really intense like hot coral red color that is just loaded with gold and pink shimmer as well. Really, really pretty. I love this color. And Erotic is one of the pressed pigment kind of formulations, so really intense pigmentation from that one. And then we have Animal, which is a really bright, fun, pinky coral color, definitely unique for an eyeshadow. And this one is also a pressed pigment formulation. And this one's not super glittery, but it does have some nice gold glitter running through it. And then finally, last but not least, we have Sunnies. This one, it's like a really pretty bright orange, and it is a satin finish. It has kind of like a gold reflex to it, so really pretty. I find this one does apply a little bit brighter and more vibrant on the lid for some reason. Like it looks a lot more neon when I've actually applied it. So that is just something to keep in mind if you are taking a look at this shade. That was Erotic, Animal, and Sunnies. So yeah, that wraps up my Colourpop Super Shock Shadow collection. I hope you found this video helpful, especially if you just stumbled upon this video because you are taking a look at the site and are totally overwhelmed and have no idea what to buy if you're looking for swatches and things like that. So yeah, hope this helped you out. If that is the case, I have definitely been in your position, and that is one of the main reasons I want to make these Colourpop videos. So like I said, if you haven't checked out my Colourpop haul or my Lippie collection, I will have them both linked down below and up here as well, wherever it pops up there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. And don't forget to stay tuned for the kind of roundup of all the shadows and all the close-ups together, because that's going to start right now.